Hey, space fans! Today we are traveling to the edge of our solar system to learn about Pluto. Pluto is a fascinating celestial object that has captured our imagination for decades. Discovered in 1930, it was long considered our ninth planet. However, in 2006, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union. So what's a dwarf planet? Like regular planets, dwarf planets orbit the Sun and are massive enough for their gravity to pull them into a spherical shape. But there's a catch. Dwarf planets share their orbital neighborhood with other objects like asteroids and comets. Despite its demotion, Pluto remains a captivating world full of mysteries. Its unique characteristics have challenged our understanding of the outer solar system and sparked numerous scientific inquiries. Let's dive in and discover what makes Pluto so intriguing. Pluto is pretty small, especially compared to the other planets in our solar system. It's even smaller than our moon. Pluto's diameter is only about 1,473 miles or 2,370 kilometers. That means you could fit about 7 Plutos across the diameter of Earth. And talk about a long trip. Pluto is really far away from the Sun. On average, it's about 3.7 billion miles or 5.9 billion kilometers away, which is about 40 times farther than Earth is from the Sun. That's why it's so incredibly cold on Pluto. To give you an idea of just how vast this distance is, imagine shrinking our solar system so that the Sun is the size of a basketball. On this scale, Earth would be about the size of a peppercorn orbiting the basketball-sized Sun from a distance of about 25 feet. Pluto, however, would be a tiny speck smaller than a grain of sand, located a whopping 1,000 feet away. Pluto's orbit around the Sun is quite unusual. Unlike the relatively circular orbits of the inner planets, Pluto's orbit is highly elliptical, meaning it's more oval-shaped. This means that Pluto's distance from the Sun changes significantly throughout its orbit. Pluto's orbit is also tilted compared to the plane of our solar system, where most planets orbit. This tilt gives Pluto a wild ride around the Sun, taking it above and below the paths of the other planets. And if that wasn't enough, Pluto's day is pretty strange too. It takes Pluto about 6.4 Earth days to complete one rotation on its axis, which is a Plutonian day. So, if you lived on Pluto, you'd have a birthday every 6.4 Earth days? Despite its small size and distance from the Sun, Pluto manages to hold on to a thin atmosphere. This atmosphere is mostly made up of nitrogen, just like Earth's, but it also contains traces of methane and carbon monoxide. However, Pluto's atmosphere is about 100,000 times thinner than Earth's, so you wouldn't be able to breathe there. The surface of Pluto is incredibly cold, with an average temperature of about -375 degrees Fahrenheit or -225 degrees Celsius. That's so cold that most gases freeze solid. Pluto's surface is covered in different types of ice, including nitrogen ice, methane ice, and water ice. Images from spacecraft have revealed a surprisingly diverse landscape with mountains, plains, craters, and even what might be a giant frozen ocean beneath its surface. Pluto's weather is also unlike anything we experience on Earth. Because its atmosphere is so thin, it can actually collapse and freeze onto the surface as Pluto moves farther away from the Sun. And when Pluto gets closer to the Sun, some of the ice on its surface sublimates, meaning it changes directly from a solid to a gas, creating a temporary thin atmosphere.